have here with us today one of our very own survivors, Brother Anthony Tucker. And he will be sharing with us his own experience. And I don't want to tell you the caption of the story. I'll let him tell you. Alright, so that can go ahead. So, in my own opinion, he was in his own fiery furnace. But as you can see, he's here with us today, so he survived that. Christ stepped in and he made it out. So go ahead and introduce yourself for our audience, Brother Tucker.
Happy Sabbath, everyone. Happy Sabbath. I'm Brother Tucker, as Ali said. About 11 years ago, I was burned very badly. But God is good,
Yes.
and I'm alive, and I'm here.
So it sounds like you cut the story short, Brother Tucker. We know that you were burnt and you're alive and you're well. Can you tell us, in short synopsis, how that day start off and how you ended up in that situation?
And if you put me in a trouble, because the story is a bit long.
No man, I said short, short.
But I'll go quickly with the part.
Summarized version.
I was at work, working, and that was the last week. I said I was going to work at my workplace where I was working then. I think it was a Tuesday when 4 of us was working. I'm a welder, also obviously, but that time I was doing the welding work. And we were cutting up a truck. And so we were using the cutting torch. And 4 of us were there cutting up the truck, and there was a box, something like a cylinder, you would say, adding hydraulic firing, and there was a pipe underneath it that you have to cut off in order for the box to drop, or the tank to drop off the truck. While I was there cutting the pipe, the gas, the oil spray out on me along with the fire. So it burned the right side of the face and the right arm. And it lifted me off the ground, and I fell back on the ground with the torch in my hand. And the guys that were there, they ran away leaving because it was a loud explosive. It was very loud, so they ran leaving. So I was the one that had to pick myself up, lock off the 2 gas barrels, turn off the torch, and went under the pipe and wet myself until I went to the hospital. When I went to, before I went to UWI hospital, I went to the hospital by Apex. And when I went there, the first doctor that came in and looked at me said that he can't manage that, like I said, he can't treat that.
Situation too big.
Yeah, so he went and he called a next doctor from the same place, and the next doctor came in and the next doctor looked at me and they were mumbling something, and then the 2 of them came to me and said they both can't manage that. And so that second doctor went and called the next doctor. And it went on until 4 of them in the room. And the 4 of them were all looking at me until they decided that they cannot manage it. So they referred me to, they asked me which one of the public doctor I would like to go to, and I tell them UWI. And so I went by UWI and we spent almost a week there. There are a lot of other things that happened, but to cut the story short, I got back better, and I just want to thank God for that, for saving my life, because it could have been worse.
Much worse. And church, I was listening to the story. We've listened to it before. But in a moment when he was explaining the whole process of the friends running the event, and it is so amazing that in that situation, Corey was logical enough and conscious enough to get up after, that movie scene. Because it's only movie we see people leap off the ground with explosion. And he was able to tend to the cylinders, tend to himself, and get out of there safe. And that is only because, God was in the midst of everything. It was only because God was there why he's here now before us with his family, and he's able to share his story once more. And for those of us who were here back then, we knew the state of the arm, and I saw some of the cleaning process, and I wanted to be a doctor. So if I said it was, then it was. But we have to give God thanks, because we have a living testimony here of how awesome God is, he was, and has always been to his people, his children, though sometimes undeserving. So as we move forward, we just want to say thanks, and we want to encourage Brother Corey to share his story, because somebody one day will come to know God because of it, because we've experienced his many blessings towards you and your family. So until next time, we will see you for another testimony session. I am Brother Beckford, and with me I have Brother Tucker, and we wish you all a happy Sabbath.